struggling with that live on TV.
Sure.
It's so hard that I don't think people understand the amount of work you have to do behind the scenes to pull yourself in front of the scenes. You know, you have to affirm. I have an affirmation app. I have to affirm myself because I don't wear makeup at home. So I know how my base skin looks like, you know. And although I'm on treatment, I'm currently, you know, with a doctor and everything, it's a journey of feeling like you're so unattractive. Constantly. You don't want to speak to coaches because you woke up and there was this big pimple, and you have to go interview a coach. You have to go to COSAFA for 2 weeks and your skin is just acting up. And you're hoping that people are listening to you and not staring at you, right?
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the All Rounders Podcast. Wow. You're already breaking equipment. You haven't been here you've been here for less than 5 minutes and you're breaking.
We're back.
It's good to be back. Good to be back with yet another dope episode. Nons, are you good?
Yeah, good. You know, this is cricket watchers, cricket followers, about MC.
When? Not him.
Guys, I hope you went to social. You could go to social media and see the attire this man was wearing last week.
He's having a go at my thing. But I mean, yours was over the top.
Forever, brother.
Nons, our guest, ne? Very special one because admittedly we haven't had a lot of women on the podcast and it's something that we were trying to change a lot. Look at her, she's going. It's not our fault. It's not a lack of trying. But she's a very special guest. She went to Wits. She's a Witsie. She's a Witsie. A Witsie, yeah. Just like everybody from Wits always says, "Do you know I went to Wits, right?"
Oh my God.
So she went to Wits and is a renowned broadcaster in this country. She's covered many football events, including COSAFA women's and men's tournaments. She's also a brilliant broadcaster in terms of starting her career not only in television, but also she's done radio. And she's worked for places like Soweto TV, award-winning presenter, please, award-winning. And she's now at the home of Champions, Super Sports.
Oh, is the Champions? It's
Nina is the Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your digital hands together. And here in the studio for Mbali Sigidi. Mbali, I might have missed a lot of things from your career. Yeah, I missed a lot of things from you. I omitted.
You covered the basics.
Yeah.
A bit of the basics.
The framework.
Yeah, I know. Like the skeleton.
Oh, yeah.
Nyama, tendons, veins.
Tell them that your show there at Soweto TV won an award. Please tell them.
That was my first industry award. Yes. You know what?
Tell them you have an SAP Sports Award.
Come on. That was my first individual award.
Listen, she thinks I don't know these things, but I was just letting her, shine.
Research. I'm a broadcast extraordinaire.
Buddy, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
I know you are very busy. You are up and down doing things, being incredible. So we wanted to catch up with you. I mean, we've tried to get a lot of, like we were saying, a lot of women on the podcast, but it's been difficult. For various scheduling also.
Okay.
Yeah, but also I'm going to be controversial here. I feel like there's a lack of enthusiasm from women to speak about their careers and their path.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes us authentic and helps us connect with
Right.
people, you know? Your story is the most powerful
Right.
thing. So I feel like if you don't tell it, you die with it.
Right.
How do we connect with you?
Right.
What sets you apart? Because you're just like every other broadcaster.
Exactly.
Your story just sets you apart. I love telling my story. I love it.
Wonderful. That's why we invited you.
We need
here.
2 hours.
Exactly.
We need 2 hours.
We don't have 2 hours, unfortunately. But with the time that we have, thanks for your time, Mbali. We wanted to, I mentioned the basics of how you started, But we wanted to hear from you. Like, how did you start in this industry?
Yeah. Well, thank you firstly for having me.
Paving the way, by the way. Hopefully
Really?
there'll be more that follows after you.
I love it. I think women are afraid to just be authentic, guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's at the core and at the crux of who I am as a person, you know. But thank you for having me, guys. I could not say no.
It's a pleasure.
When Lunga called,
Aye.
my G is calling me. So, of course, I'll move mountains. Get so full, guys.
You see?
So, Lu.
Okay.
Yes, Lu. Yeah, I know. So, my thing is I'm an evening session.
This is your gym session.
This is my gym session, Devon. No, so my journey in the sports industry. So essentially, I have to start with the framework and right. So I've got 3 older brothers.
Yes.
Last born, only girl.
Okay.
So you already know, good ekhaya.
Sport wire.
Yeah, it's just me and my mom.
Yeah.
Right. So ukula vele in a sports environment, we played sports like from grade R right up until matric.
Yeah.
Like we're like a sports family. You
Yeah.
know, we're not allowed to be couch potatoes, and we're just like kids who just like playing outside. Yeah. And so obviously at that time, Panasonic TV. So you watch what's on there, guys. Panasonic.
Telephone.
So you watch what is there. We always knew good 7 o'clock in the but every other time, if there are no cartoons, if my brothers are watching sports, you are watching what's on the TV. You know, the sports bug bit me at the age of 8. 1998 World Cup.
France,
Brazil. France, Brazil final.
Yes.
Brazil lose.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah.
I cried for the first time. Like cried. I remember being sitting on my guys. It's that memory is so vivid.
Okay, but
I
how
can
old were
tell
you in '98?
I was 8.
Okay. All right.
So
he's calculating.
my age.
I'm not trying to ask a woman her age, but I'm trying to ask a woman.
Yes, it is what it is. There's a blessing in aging. So anyway, so they're telling sitting on my yellow chair, watching this game, and then Gyakala because Zidane is doing Zidane things. And then Brazil lose. I think it was 3-0 if I remember the scoreline. We lose dismally in the final. We lose dismally because that's when I started supporting Brazil. The football was so captivating.
Legendary side also.
Oh my goodness! Don't tell me that.
When you look at the names
that
in that
squad,
side,
gosh.
R9.
Listen, so the football was so captivating. So I'm just like, okay, I'm a Brazilian.
Yes.
So I fall in love with the losers, right? And I cry. And I think that was the first time I really connected with the sports industry and understood the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's when the bug bit me. And I was hooked until. And though I didn't really know much about the industry besides being being a player or a journalist. I don't really know much how broad our industry is, guys. It's so broad, right? So because it was so second nature, I never thought of it as a career. I just thought it was, but it's something that's like second nature. It's like, it's a gazi, you know? So when I was like varsity, I'm like, okay, I go to Wits. I study your psychology, your media studies, your sociology, the ologies, you know, philosophy, anthropology. The ologies, guys. Those are the ology. And then I graduate, and then I'm like, you know what? I really want to pursue this, but I didn't know how to get into the industry, and it took me 6 years to break into the industry because I also didn't know the art of how to get into this industry because I didn't have much research about just how broad it was. I just thought, okay, but I'm not a professional player, so
that's a great point. Yeah.
So now you don't know. Good to know. There's broadcasting. There's this, there's that. You just see the person on TV commentating, and you think that's that.
Yeah.
And that's the misconception because if you don't ask, you don't get information, right? And then I worked in various industries, and then I went on to.
You mentioned corporate also. You work in corporate.
I'm coming there, and then I went, and then I went to go do my honors.
Okay.
Right, I went to do my honors at Vega. Yes. Right, I did my honors in brand communication because now at that time, now I'm like, okay, I think I know enough to want to pursue. But I wanted to get into like sports media. So I wanted to be like a brand manager, you know, that kind of stuff. And so I did my honors, and then I'm like, I'm going to marry this qualification with the passion.
With the passion.
And that's how my marriage is going to happen. And the marriage, guys, was not marriaging, you know? It was not.
That like looks like a plan though. Like you say, you speak about, you speak about not like knowing how, but that's a well thought out plan.
Yeah, because one thing, Mina, guys, no one can out-hustle me. Sure. That is one thing. That is one thing I always told myself. You know, there are people who are like, no one will outwork me. No, but for me, no one will out-hustle me. Yeah. Because I show up. I'm telling you guys, my thesis. Sure. My thesis was based on Kaizer Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
About what, please?
So I was talking about, because it was brand communication, so I was talking about Kaizer Chiefs as a family brand and how this family brand was able to build such a big, holistic, and successful brand in South Africa. And so that was the thesis. And where did the thesis take me for my fieldwork? Kaizer Chiefs Village.
Wonderful.
And you know how I got there? Yafiga, guys, I get there. I didn't know my appointment.
You just want to knock on Kaizer's door.
But that's what I do. I just show up because, guys, my thing is this: if you don't pursue your career wholeheartedly, grab the bull by the horn, nobody's gonna hand it to you, right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool, I do what I do best. So I get there, figure Kaizer Chiefs Village, get to security. I'm like, yeah, I'm from the reception. And then they're like,
who are you?
And then they're like, do you have an appointment? I'm like, do I need one? And like, yes. I'm like, oh, okay. Nga reverse moto. I need to cul-de-sac.
Yes.
Bagi moto. My phone reception.
Creating an appointment.
Really?
Right there.
Yeah. Called reception. Hi, I'd like to speak to your brand manager. They transfer me to Dara Carroll. Hi, Dara Carroll. I'm a student. I'm doing my honors. I'm doing my paper on Kaizer Chiefs. I'd like to make time to come and sit with you and talk about this brand.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Come through on Tuesday.
Really? Just like that?
Just like that. Gafika again. I sat there. You know, had like a good hour interview with her. And then from there, she introduced me to, then that's how I met Abu Vina, met Abu Kemi, so different Tracy, who was in charge of the supporters branches, the different, and then I started learning about the elements that make Kaizer Chiefs brand so successful. The things that you don't see.
Absolutely.
And the fact that the chairman takes care of his family, that maybe the security guard is like a distant uncle. Like it's family, he takes care of, you know. And then he was like, look, Kune game your Chiefs. So I'm going to the stadium for like the stadium meeting. Do you want to come? I'm like, I'm here. And that was the first time I saw the industry from behind the scenes. The level of preparation for a game. And it wasn't like a Soweto derby. I think Boksasene Vasco da Gama at that time in the league. I think at that time. And Kaizer Chiefs was playing against, I think, Vasco. I don't remember which team it was. But the level of preparation for a Soweto derby and a small team is the same. Yeah. And I saw about like what is it, Vok?
Vok.
All the people, EMS, everyone was in that meeting. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So much it goes in.
And then I said to Dara, I'm coming for your job. Because this is what I want to do. I'm coming for your job. And I told Vina Maposa the same thing. I'm like, I'm coming for your job because this is really what I wanted to do.
He's
but
still there, Vina,
I had
by the way.
that sense of I feel like I'm at the place I need to be. You know, and so when I graduated, I landed a job in corporate. I lasted 8 months.
Why?
I lasted 8 months because, guys, when your gifts and your passions, when you are misaligned, you will frustrate the people that are around you because you are like a puzzle that is just not fitting.
Get you.
You are not. It's not your environment. It's not conducive for your growth.
Yes.
So if you, Mr. Cricketer, you were to go Yodlalela Pirates, you would frustrate them. But my thing is this: when you're passionate, I mean the show. But my thing is this: your passion, your talent, the puzzle fits within cricket.
Sure.
You would either frustrate or you would be the frustrated one if you are so misaligned. And I think as people, we need to align ourselves with who we are. A lot of people don't know who they are or they don't even try to find who they are. That's why, guys, we've got so many frustrated people because they're just like puzzles trying to fit into different places that is not conducive for how they are built, their talents, their gifts, and therefore they can't even add value.
I want to get in there because there's a lot of football orientated information that you're giving us in terms of your background and your career. We often like sit here and wonder why that is. I mean, especially for women. Is football a closer affinity to women than it is rugby or cricket, or where is it how you grew up, where that informs your passion and your interest? Because we often sit here and we say, look, we wish we had enough or more women doing cricket broadcasting and rugby broadcasting, because there's little of them, and I'm not saying that there isn't any, but there's little of them. But the first sort of inclination women want to go into in terms of sporting and broadcasting is football. Why is that?
I think a lot of the time it's the upbringing. So mina ngikhulele Soweto, right? And I did say that mina Istrata Sagiti was like the widest street, right? So bokudlalwa ama-challenge, right?
Okay.
So that was the kind of like the first sport that I got exposed to. And the Soweto, a lot of the time, that's what dominates, right? And I never positioned myself as a football person, never, even till today. Never. I'm a sports person, because that's why even at Soweto TV, I did sports across, right? And that's what actually helped me grow as a person, because I'm a basketball person as well. I love netball, I love athletics, and I think because currently I work on super sports schools, I do commentary for netball. So I never want to feel boxed, because if that tap runs dry, you don't have options, because you don't have the ability to do anything else. And I get that whole thing of jack of all trades, whatever, but
all rounders.
I feel like you have more options, and in the world that we're living in, I don't think you have the luxury to just do and know one thing. Football is such a bottleneck, guys. A lot of us we do football, but when I was at Soweto TV, I did everything across, and that's what helped me grow and be so well-rounded as a broadcaster, not just doing a show, not being a journalist, because I never studied journalism, but I had such a robust training environment that it was so amazing, and I love being on the ground.
And I will survive.
No, really, I love going to presses and being on the ground, because I love connecting with people. I love building relationships. And I always say that the most valuable relationships for me in the industry are my relationships with my coaches. My coaches. My coaches.
Okay, coaches.
Guys, that is the most valuable relationship you can invest in this industry. It's with the coaches. So
I think we've been probably speaking for 15 minutes. Your passion really comes. It's like I'm just gonna sit here and listen to you. You were speaking about a period where you were trying to marry the two. You're marrying your Wits degree with your Vega honors degree as well. What's the actual plan? Is it chasing being a presenter? What was the vision at the time that you said, this is the thing in sport that I want to be by the time I'm done with this thing?
So, so going back to what I had said before, was good. I'd wanted to get into like brand marketing, comms. So sort of be like what Jessica does. Be a Jessica Mdawan type of thing, because that's where my qualification would have taken me, right? So either Jess or Dara, because Dara was the brand manager at that time. So that brand work, right? But brand communications manager, whatever, in sports. That's what I wanted to do. I never really wanted to be a broadcaster. It wasn't my thing.
It wasn't a plan.
I didn't even know that I could present, right? It was never a thing. Because minang saba mehlo abantu right? And the people are like, Kanjan, someone's a TV. No, the difference is
I resonate. I understand.
The difference is with the camera, you know that there's millions of people, but you don't see them.
It's just one lens.
You and your analysts. But I can't, like the way in Saba, like about Mahlonche, like people staring, like walking through a crowd. I don't like that. So I'd never really thought about getting into like broadcasting. And I always say TV chose me because then I went to auditions. Okay, I didn't make the first ones. Well, not even that I didn't make it. I remember I went to auditions at SABC. And then they just decided, we'll just use people from internal. And then I remember I auditioned at AN7 at that time. I did not make it because I did not know how to use the auto cue machine. That the voice, that it goes with your pace. I love just like, and then at that time I'm like, you know what? I really think broadcasting is not for me because I went to 2 auditions now, and guys, stop sending me auditions. And then one of my colleagues sent me the Soweto TV one.
Yeah.
I was so reluctant to go. You know when you have to drag
Yes.
yourself?
Forcing
Like,
myself
I literally
to go to
did
this
this
thing,
to
yeah.
myself. Like, and I'm like, I'm just going. Because now I'd been so disappointed from
True.
the other. And I didn't realize that this is the one that God said, this is it.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand
Yeah.
that starting from the bottom, SABC and ANN7 at the time would have ruined me because
Yes.
I did not have experience.
Get you.
And I would have failed on a national platform
Wow.
in a very glorious and global way, right? But the thing is about, and this is what I always tell the young ladies who come and say, hey, can you mentor me or give me advice? I always say, guys, start from the bottom.
Yeah.
Go to campus radio,
Yeah.
go to community media, because what this does, it allows you the ability to train,
Yep.
to make mistakes.
Yep.
It has the grace, because there's not much demand,
Yes.
right? And the fact that
Can make as many mistakes as you want.
and because akuna mali,
Yeah.
you are expected to work in like 3 departments.
Yes.
But you leave there multi-skilled.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't understand.
Yeah.
You leave there multi-skilled. And so you sharpen your skills because there's not much expectation. Not
Yeah.
that you shouldn't deliver, but it gives you the platform to train and to refine your skill.
Yeah.
That's why by the time Supersport came knocking,
You were
they
ready.
sang Vuti,
You were ready.
they sang
Yeah.
Paramacox.
Already. so stretchy.
Yeah, man.
I wanna jump in there because
Yeah.
I mean that's a great point, and it's maybe all three of us or everybody actually in this room can testify to that. I mean, being able to start from unrecognizable places, if you want to put it like that, and not always starting on the bigger platforms. For you, how did you deal with disappointment of not making those 2 auditions? And I know you just spoken about
Yeah.
just dragging yourself to the next
Yeah.
one. How did you deal with that initial disappointment of, okay, maybe this thing is not for me?
Yeah. I think for me, the thing that I'm most grateful for is my relationship with God,
Yeah.
right? I'm from a very Christian home,
Yeah.
right? Even in my own family,
Yeah.
with my husband, my kids,
Yeah.
we that's the environment we've created because that is what we know. Those are our values.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm a staunch Christian, right? So so my relationship with God actually helped me through those disappointments because it's not that I didn't cry, the
Yeah.
ones that I really, really wanted,
Yes.
you know, because now you feel like maybe you're not as good as you think,
Get you.
you know, and now this audition comes and you're just like, I don't want to bomb out again. Because disappointment is painful, guys.
It's hard, that
you need to
thing.
do affirmation, validate yourself to pick yourself up. But I will say that for me, I prayed about it. I think I spoke to my mom as well. But I think Christ, that relationship centered me so much, and that's really been the relationship that has helped me navigate this industry till today. That's why I'm not told this controversial.
Mbali, where's- you're in the front page of.
I don't even post my family. Like, go to my socials, it's just my work. So I
yeah.
just protect my private space.
Yeah.
The people who know me
will
know my
know,
family,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I protect that environment because I always feel like my family must have a choice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the world has shown us that they are not kind.
I hear you.
And when they want to hurt you,
They
they
go
will
there.
use your family as a
Yeah.
weapon. And
They
it is
go
not
there.
fair for your
Yeah.
kids. They never asked to be here, so you've got a responsibility to
protect them, yeah.
Also part of this industry, we get to deal with if Pila and I both audition for the same job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get the job,
Yeah.
but I get to see who that person who got that gig.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
like you in, let's say, in a crew there, when you're on a line,
Yeah.
and we all audition for this thing, and now you know that not only did I not get this job, that person got
it.
that job.
Oh. Yeah.
How do you deal with that aspect? Because it's quite brutal in a way to get to where it's maybe in a job, in a corporate job, you don't get to see,
Yep.
you move on.
Yeah.
Where this gig, you know that Pila got that job over me. Now I'm busy questioning myself.
Yeah.
What the hell does Pila have over me that he got that gig? How do you deal with that?
You're preaching to me because I went through this just last year.
Yeah.
There's a company that came and headhunted me to come and join,
Yeah.
right? And went through everything, interviews, everything. I mean, I
We'll
never.
not mention names.
Yes, right. We will not mention it. Headhunted me.
Yeah.
I remember because I got the message as I was booking a night, not night paper. It's just like an evening service
Sure.
in church. So Mang Puma, I get this WhatsApp. And in my head, I'm like, yo, Jesus, yay, answered prayer, boom,
right at the
you know
then.
what I mean? And then, okay, cool. The next day, send all my stuff.
Sure.
I remember I even went through legal a super sport for clearance to sort of see which does not sort of clash and all of that stuff. Get approval, get a heads up, then feedback, give it back to them, everything, and then they're like, okay, cool. Now, so Selenje, the CEO, man, it's okay. But for me, I want you part of my team. So everything, I thought it's done.
She's checking
but I
out.
didn't know at that time, Muguti, there was another person.
Yeah.
And this person is also someone who I know very well in the industry, right? And the things also have a good relationship. So, and then Mangel was how? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I see an announcement on X. And then I'm like,
huh?
How?
Huh?
Okay.
Not even a announcement.
And then only after, then the person who had hunted me is like, oh, by the way, the CEO, I think I wanted you, but the CEO decided they actually want this person. And I'm like, it's cool. Magnitude, this was like last year. So this was
fresh. Yeah.
I remember we had just dropped off our little one at crash. When I got this message. We were literally driving back home in the morning. It was 7:30. I just told him to stop the car, and I just burst into tears because I think for the first time since those SABC 8 and 7 sort of like auditions, this was the one I wanted. So it's been, I haven't like wanted something so long, and I had invested in, and when you're already like morning shift, and
you planning your life already.
So I plan moving by faith la yabona uthi let came after ngiphuma ku service but sometimes one thing that Swiso Mbambo said to me was, Kuti, if something is for you, it will be for you. It will be yours, and it doesn't matter who tries to do it. If it's for you, it's for you. So she got it. But I couldn't be bitter because she's an amazing person. And she's so great at what she does. So
Nons has to go, but you want to ask one more question?
No, it's fine.
Are you fine?
Ask
Are
me
you sure?
Ask me none. Ask me none. Anything.
I lost my trail.
But just on that, I mean, it's also just, I think we will all get caught up in a cycle of I want this, I deserve this all the time. And we don't think about someone else that also wants it as much as you do. How important is it to play the game and not the man? Because in this industry, a lot of the times we get caught into spaces where we have an issue with Mbali getting a job over me. Yeah. Whereas it wasn't because Mbali is not good enough to do the job. She is good enough to do the job, but someone else chose Mbali. Yeah. So how do you navigate those things in terms of accepting that the industry is big enough for all of us and we can find opportunities elsewhere?
I think it comes down to Tina as individuals, as people, right? If we struggle to celebrate others, it says a lot about our character. It says a lot. And one thing I've always spoken about, if I speak to someone or anything, I always speak about character and always being a person who's authentic. You must be the same person behind closed doors like you are in public. So if you are the same person who celebrates your family, your kids, your brothers, your sisters, be that person who's going to celebrate someone else. I remember when I was doing an interview on YFM, I said, and they asked me about three advice that I should give people. And I think the last one that I said was, Guti, be someone's amen corner. Be someone's amen corner. And I explained and I said, what I mean by that is, Guti, ukumbuluti, when you're at church, nah?
Yes.
Fundis likes it when
I
people
do go
say,
to church.
I
do go to church. I do
the
go to
pastor
church.
likes it when people say amen, amen, because it makes him feel like people are responsive, they're listening, So even it's the same even in our industry. When someone is doing well, be that person's amen corner, meaning be their biggest cheerleader, right? It goes back to we are so misaligned as individuals, Tina, internally, because it comes down to our personal insecurities, right? You are playing the man and not the game, because the industry, pardon, will always want to choose the best person.
Yes.
But because it's not you at that time, you have to accept that someone else is better. And sometimes it's not even about good, maybe someone else is better. Someone is just a better fit.
Yes, for that role.
Because maybe for you, maybe it's...
Well, we've got water for you here.
No, it's not water. Hospitality.
We've got water here.
So I'm saying, Uguti, sometimes you just not a fit for that because of how you are wired, your personality. Maybe when you are more wired for a show or a role that is maybe just more suited to just how you also present, right? And you'll find, Uguti, the way you do it, nobody can do it like you.
Yeah.
So I think that our personal insecurities, when we are not chosen, we start feeling like, is it something that's wrong with me? Is it something that's missing in me? Why does it always have to be something negative? Thank you. Why does it have to be something negative all the time? Because we are always looking at the glass half empty as opposed to the glass half full. And that speaks volumes about what we think about ourselves, our identity. So I always feel like we're always approaching the industry like from a standpoint of, I am the person who's bringing the value. And as opposed to meleng you know. And I'm not saying, Guti, you go there with that arrogant spirit, Guti, like, they must know Guti who I am. No, because you've got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm just saying, Guti, if you've sort of gotten like 5, 6, 7 years under your belt, you already know what you can offer.
Exactly.
So you know at some point, this is my value. It's either you want me or you don't. It's got nothing to do with a shortcoming. So we should never ever approach being rejected as a form of something that is missing in us, because it's not even that. It just means that your role that you better fit for is coming, and celebrate the other person, because you don't know what, maybe for them that's God's answered prayer for them that they've been waiting for. So you've got to allow that. You can't win anjalo out of the 64 million people in this country, God only answers you. Like, you know, you don't know with that person's, maybe it's been waiting 6 years, 7 years, and this is their break. So it's their moment.
Take me back to Soweto TV. This is your first, like, real, like, media opportunity. Now you are in it. You are on the streets. You are covering things. You are on air in front of camera. How was that experience for you in terms of grooming the broadcaster that you are now?
I think the most incredible thing that happened at Soweto TV was that, of course, I didn't have a broadcast and journalist background. So I had to rely on the job training. But I had such an incredible editor, Uneli. You know, I'll only speak volumes about her. She's on ETV now. Amazing, amazing lady. And when we sort of got called in, it's okay, sort of we made it. I didn't know which they were looking for like 3 people. And because that's how I met Vuyo Matoba.
Great journalist, by the way.
And he helped me a lot. And Malwandla Hlekane. And then we became this department. The 3 of us became the sports team. So Soweto TV was sort of like trying to build the sports department, and they hired the 3 of us. And it was amazing. And sometimes you used to butt heads because, you know, you're also still learning each other's temperaments. Vuyo already had sort of like his stripes in the industry, you know, I mean, coming from Unisa Radio and everything. So I remember going to my first press conference. And Eric Tinkler was still the coach at Super Sports. This was 2017 when I got to Soweto TV. It was my first press conference. And then Vuyo helped me in terms of, so he was like, okay, so Yabana Manchisleli, these are like the journalists across, right? So, you know, he's just like, that's Velile. At the time, it was still Mbuli. Yeah, that's Velile. That's Charles,
Yes.
that's what, and
That's
introduced me to
Mazola.
people. That's Mazola. That's, people from a distance.
Yes.
Some I met, in person.
Yeah.
And then he taught me the etiquette. It's okay. You don't come wearing like a t-shirt, like a sports t-shirt.
Yeah,
like
no.
me.
Cardinal sin.
You can't. That's like
No way.
That is like
No
the
way.
absolute no,
Yes.
no. So always looking presentable.
Yeah.
Listen, ask questions.
Yeah.
Don't be a girl who's coming to take selfies and pictures and all of those
Yep.
things. But I did take a picture. I did take a picture and it's posted.
You broke journalistic etiquette.
And that was my first conference,
fine,
guys. I
that's
took
fine.
a picture. Singing Spicer because you
Yes.
can go on my social scroll right at the bottom of the
Yes.
Lapaya. But at the same time, I was sort of like, it was like a memory for me because it was like my first. And I was just sort of like, I need to keep this memory, right? And I posted it. And I remember because I took the picture by the backdrop.
Sure.
And this is when we were all done and everything.
Yeah.
And as I was taking the picture, the journalists were just looking at me like,
Who's this girl? Who's this girl?
now in hindsight, I understand those looks because now I'm that girl like,
Who's this?
who's this girl taking pictures? But now I understand. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, girl, we're here to work, not take pictures, all of that. But I wasn't taking pictures of people, it's just me,
Okay.
right? And so that was great. And then so I had a really great team around me and I learned a lot. And, from football to cricket.
Sure.
We get here at Wanderers,
yeah.
we're interviewing about Thabiso Rabada.
Kagiso, yes.
Hey, Thabiso Rabada. Kagiso Rabada, Abotemba, and all these different cricketers. Then you move to rugby.
Sure.
And I think the great thing about Soweto TV at that time was good. I was able to do a lot of development sports, which I love. Development, right?
Yes.
And I love authentic stories. I love the hidden gems. So then we built relationships with like your karate, your gymnastics, your boxing, and I found that just being able to cast my net wide and building those relationships, there's so much you learn about just the landscape of the sports industry. Sports is not just football, soccer, and cricket, guys.
Yeah.
It's actually beyond because those sporting codes are sitting on top of all these sporting codes. And it was so great to see the amazing things that were happening. And I interviewed this girl. She was the world champion, world champion. But people didn't know world champion, not world champion. And I was just like, this is amazing. So all of this shaped me in understanding. Okay, one, my hunger even grew, but two, I understood the assignment. Uguti, number one, I'm in a privileged space.
Sure.
And I can't come in here to make numbers.
Get you.
I need to come in here and add value.
Yeah.
I am training, yes. But I need to train for a purpose.
Yes.
I mustn't train and then I become a statistic. Then I'm just that girl with, another one, she's gone to the footballer. And then stories and then gone. Then another one. And there's all of these things. But I had this responsibility. I really want to be that next generation of, elite voices. And not just women, but just sports broadcasters, sports journalists, people adding value. And I remember a lady saying to me, she from my hood, and she was saying Guti like, hey, I wanna like be a presenter, whatever, because I see like there's a shortage in the industry. And I asked her the same question that Mutidisi Mohano asked me when she was also mentoring me. Guti, why? She asked me, why do you want to be a broadcaster?
What is your why?
Yeah, why? And she's like, no, because I see that there's a shortage. I'm like, are you coming here to make up numbers or to add value? And I asked her that, and I wasn't being harsh. Because the questions that were posed to me,
it's not a nasty question.
As I grew, I understood the weight of that question. Why? Because it then determines the kind of journalist or broadcaster you become. And I asked her why. You can't say you want to be because you are shorter. No, then see right, see five. See right, because if you're not coming to add value, you aren't doing the work we are doing. And if you don't already have your why,
Sure.
and you don't have a vision, and you don't sort of have like a passion for it,
Sure.
you are going to easily compromise. And then you're going to set us back again.
Yep.
And we don't want people who will compromise.
Yeah.
Because this industry, guys, it's tough.
Cutthroat.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
You will trend for saying a step wrong.
Yes.
People are not kind out there.
I want to come back. I want to jump in on this point that you make about being all-rounded.
Yeah.
And I watched, it's sort of the same time that we started our careers, 2017, when I first sort of moved to Joburg, and just interacting with you, Malwandle, and Vuyo.
You've always been such a nice guy.
I tried. That is the core of what journalism is, right? Like being able to tell human interest stories. And you guys did it in a very unique way. Vuyo still does it to this day. And like for me, it's like one of those things where I'm like, you don't lose the core values of how you started and why you started. And I think it also answers the why question. How much did that like sort of build the kind of broadcast that you wanted to be able to be human interest related, orientated rather? Because even now in mainstream sport, there's still a human interest story in a Pirates player, a Lions player, a Springbok player, and not just he's doing well on the on a national platform. How important are those human interest stories still for you in your career going forward?
They are so important, and I feel like it's the biggest missing piece for me right now, because it's something that I had the privilege to do. So it's a TV, but we also have the luxury because we had to have content and we didn't have much. So outside of your premier sports and stuff like that, the human stories were the ones that really carried us. And we sort of had that carte blanche to do anything. And funny enough, the human-centric stories are that's the one that won me my first industry award, because I did a story on the Gogos football team.
Bakoko.
Yes, the Gogos football team. They won the national title, and I did that story where I went. I followed one of the I forgot her name now, because it's so long ago. But I went to her houses. We followed her from when she gets up in the morning, getting the grandkids ready, taking them to school, then magabuya, pagishi bag, my cocks, my shoes, whatever. Walking now to be grounding.
The formal get ready with me.
Yes, lab and like for room it's so raw. And also she was showing us that she stretches. So we are stretch and then she's walking your grounding. Along the way she meets her teammate and then walk by grounding. And now we capture them training, being trained by a young guy. Sure, like your age, our age, young guy. We interview Abokoko. She's got
the link.
And but for me, the most captivating part of the story was when Abokoko were like, since being here, I'm off meds. Diabetes was just like, she's cured. Cholesterol, all of that. So it's the power of what sports could do for them in their livelihoods. And them being able to show up for their families. And not be like chronic, mama wheelchair, all of that stuff. But they decided they're gonna fight for their health in a space that they can enjoy every day.
Wonderful.
And that was such a human-centric story for me. And that won me my SAB award. So I love those stories because it's stories that we so overlook. It's stories that when you're doing and no disrespect to obviously like your cricket, your rugby, it's just that we're all expected to do that. It's siafana, so we're all expected to do that. But what makes you different, what sets you apart, is finding those hidden gems. And that's the kind of broadcast I always wanted to be. I always want to find these human-centric stories. And I feel like at my previous employment, that platform allowed me to, And though I love this platform, I love it because I've grown exponentially through it, But at some, yes, I haven't been able to do those stories. So now I have to find other avenues. Good, okay, how do I still nurse this part of me that is very thirsty and hungry for these the human touch, the human stories, because that makes me just
sets you alight.
Yes, you know. Recently I was sent to do this La Liga in Rustenburg, this La Liga sort of like next gen tournament, and I was there for like 4 days. It was incredible because it was kids from Rustenburg village.
Get you.
And there was like over 200 kids. They came for trials, girls and boys came for trials. I'm under 14s. Came for trials, and then 8 of them were selected. So 4 boys were selected, 4 girls were selected after like a rigorous 2-day training and everything. And then from there, La Liga went from South Africa. They went to New York, Guatemala, Dubai, Vietnam, and then same thing. They chose 8 players, and then bonke bahlangana in Spain, and they formed sort of like the girls' global team, the guys' global team. But the opportunity, the story of these kids from the village. Going to Spain for the first time.
Human interest
story
right
have never been to Gauteng, let alone the beach in KZN. How much more Ipanoi going to Spain?
8 hours.
You know, and just that, and speaking to the parents. And understanding the background of these kids, where they come from. Abanye umama's like, aganabazali, so okuliswa yimi. And you know, you can understand what auntie's looking at this child, Guti. If she could accomplish this, she can be that breadwinner in our family that we look to. Also, skipa konala, you know, or the one who becomes the first in our family. So those stories, like, listen, no, that thing, you know, Mama, you give your all to a project because it just spoke to the core of who I was, and I enjoyed it so much, and I loved it. So it was so nice to enjoy, just connecting. To just my core once again. So so it's definitely something that I want to continue doing. It's just that now you have to navigate. It's okay.
I know.
I have to use this platform.
I know.
You know what? Use your own. Create your own. Because you own the content.
You spoke about mentors. You mentioned Sfiso Mbambo, who I guess at the time was the head of football. You've mentioned Motsidi Simohono, who's peerless when it comes to presenting in this country, who has also shaped who Mbali Sigidi is in the industry in terms of mentorship.
You know, there's a number of people you speak to, but then there's people who
directly or indirectly also. Like I mean, it can be somebody that you probably didn't at the time think, okay, this person is actually mentoring me into being a broadcaster. So
I'll definitely say so. So there's people that I've had conversations with, right? Who are very open. Like I'll say, like Carol, she's very open with information. Like whenever I do speak to her, when I do get a chance, and I just ask her questions, very, very kind, very open with information. So I would say maybe from like a distance, you know, someone who's added value. But I would say people who've really been like a bit closer, who I've been able to always bounce off ideas, and just who have been constantly there. You know, I do ask them for advice. I haven't spoken to her in a while, of course, since the baby, but I think it's someone over the years I've been able to always just speak to. Mots, Nono.
Now.
Kaba now.
Sorry. No, Kaba, yes, please.
You know, director at Super Sport. In fact, she was directing the game I was doing at the MTN match in Cape Town. I think she's so invested in believing in people and so invested in wanting you to be the best, that she'll give you feedback, whether you like it or you don't. But she's never given feedback to sort of break you or criticize you. But if she's just like, dude, I need you to fix this, I need you to work on this.
I need to level up.
It's always because she already sees where you can go, you know. And remember, when you do great, she also looks good.
Absolutely.
You know, she looks good. You know, because people want to be part of a winning team, as she said over the weekend. People want to be part of a winning team. So she's been a person who I think over the years has helped a lot of us, Abo Lerato, Abo Lindiwe, over over the years, she's been a great mentor. Sfiso Mbambo is someone that I hold so dearly close to my heart, because obviously when I got to Super Sport, he was there. The opportunities I got, it was because of him. Being able to do my first PSL game, when I did my first PSL game, it was my birthday.
When was this now?
This was 2021. 2021. We're in Durban. It was one of those end of the season games.
Get you.
When there's just like all the games are shown at the same time, and then it just sent all the presenters out. But it was so nice to get a call up, right? Get a call up, and I'm like, and it's my birthday. And I remember I was doing a game. It was the first season in Stellenbosch in the season.
Wait. Was it a toss-up between, look, I want to celebrate my birthday, or I'm going to go work? Was it a contest where I want to go and
No, I'm not a birthday person.
Okay.
Funny enough.
That's fun.
So it was like one of those moments. Like, oh, wow. So it was like...
It didn't matter whether it was your birthday. You were going to go.
Because... So in that game, it was Stellenbosch. I think it was if I remember, it was their first season. 2020, 2021. I think that was their first season. Please, guys, don't come up with a season.
We'll fact check.
By a season. Because I know that season, I was doing their game against Golden Arrows. And Stellenbosch, it was when they just finished above the relegation zone. So they just survived saving their status. So that was my first PSL game ever. And it was my birthday, and it was amazing. And we were in Durban, and I remember because I was at it was Sugary, and Ulirato was working in Maritzburg. So she was doing, I think,
Maritzburg United.
And she was in there. But we were all staying at the same hotel. And then when we came back, I thought, so obviously now it's end of the season, game's done. I'm excited, I'm happy with that PSL debut, and it's my birthday. And then Usviso took us out.
Nice, man.
And it took us out, Sonke, and we went to celebrate my birthday. And it was such an amazing end to the season, but such an incredible day because the production went well. When the production goes well, it's like
everybody's happy.
Everybody's
no glitches, nothing.
And you don't want to be that person who's like is like, dude, like the source of everyone's pain. You know
Bali, we're ready. We need to go to the break, Bali.
Yo, you don't want to be that person. On debut, sister, stay there. And then took us out for my birthday, and it was such an incredible day. So he's someone that I think over the years has been so honest. Usviso, I remember I was working with him now in Joburg since I'm at playoffs, and he would say something, and I'd feel like,
as a director now.
And as your boss at the time, like your football, manager, and just like, I hear you. And then you think, okay, I'm at the pits right now. Then next thing you get a booking. Get a booking. But not just any booking. You get a booking where you feel like, yay, I've never done this before.
How did I make this?
I just feel like just last week you were like coming down hard on me, only to then book me on like NFT or something. I'm just like, okay, I don't understand you right now. Like, what do you want from me? But it's that belief. It's the belief that he had in you. So for me, those are the mentors, the people who helped over the years. Nelly helped at Soweto TV. Nono's helped a lot. Ayabonga at Super Sport continues to be a person. Continues to be a person who is my mentor, speaks to me. We have coffee, he'll chat to me.
Great guy.
So he's really invested. So I value people who really, really care. So I'll say those people really.
Tell me now, I mean, you mentioned something so important there in terms of being able to accept that kind of criticism and still bounce back, because you and I both know that we're in an environment that's so competitive. Like you can go from doing a PSL game this weekend and never doing anything ever again. So the highs are very high and the lows are, you're not even doing DDC, so
you're not even doing Kaizer Chiefs.
You're not even doing Phillies games. go from VSL to nothing. Yeah. How do you navigate that kind of feedback? Because I never look at it as criticism.
Yeah.
I try to look at it as feedback. It was for that moment and for that time only.
Yeah.
And then you can move past it. How do you sort of navigate between those highs and also the disappointments of being or receiving negative feedback?
Yeah.
I would say that.
You've got to grow a thick skin, and you've got to be able to filter in this industry. It's not a personal attack.
No.
And if you feel that it is, take what you feel works for you from what they said and build from there. Yeah. It's not a personal attack. And for me, that's a sign of maturity. Sure. It's not everyone who's out to get you, right? If people have a personal vendetta, take what you feel will build you and discard the rest. Sure. But you've got to grow in this industry. You've got to grow up very fast because it doesn't give you the chance to mature and all of that stuff. You've got to grow a thick skin. And unfortunately, ukula as things happen, as you get scars and wounds along the way. Yeah. But you've got to learn. That's why your like how you sort of switch off from work is very important, because that's what refuels you for work. Yeah. Because if you don't have that outlet, you're gonna crash and burn here eventually. You're gonna implode. Yeah. So you need the sort of that exit point, and that becomes what you like. If you switch off from the industry, what do? Do you go for walks? Do you hike? Do you gym? What do you watch? Are you a Netflix guy? Yeah. I know, guys. Right? My friends know. Right? When I switch off from sports, Netflix. I'm watching two things.
What?
I'm watching channel 177, people renovating houses.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, three things, sorry. I'm watching either Law and Order or crime investigation stuff where they're solving crimes and there's serial killers on the loose. That's just like what I like. Yeah. And I'm watching Koreans.
K-dramas.
Yes.
You're a K-drama girl.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, no, I would
so therapeutic.
Really?
So therapeutic.
Why? Okay, is it like an escape thing for you?
It's an escape, but also I just feel like the Asian market is really, really doing so well in terms of their storyline, their cinematography, and the really, really great stories. I just feel like Hollywood for me is not doing it for me. They don't know how to write anymore. They don't know how to write endings. They're struggling, and I've really found a place where I'm enjoying their stories. Yeah,
can I tell you something?
Like, Shogun. Have you watched Shogun?
No.
Okay, Shogun is brilliant because I think it even won Oscars. It's a Japanese series on Disney. It is brilliant. It was even won an Oscar. So yeah.
So can I tell you something? Like, I would never be able to watch K-drama. Maybe I will know this. Like in the Eastern Cape, it's not a. Like we'd watch karate movies like back in the day, like your Snake in the Eagle's Shadow and all the Jet Li's and all that. But you see, but the thing is that it's difficult for us to concentrate when there's you can explicitly tell that the production is being spoken in their own language and then there's somebody speaking over them. Like it's so tough for me. Like
the English dub.
Yeah.
Well, the ones now, like Squid Games.
I've never watched Squid Games.
Oh, you see.
I've never watched Shogun.
The reason Squid Games are so brilliant because it's brilliant. It's really, really brilliant. You should try it. Season 1 was great.
I will try.
But I think they've gotten so much better with the dub because unless you really pay attention, it's just off. It's not like the obvious ones like that where someone's mouth is like, but the person's word is
exactly.
So I watch a mix. There's ones with the English dub, then there's ones obviously with the subtitles. I don't mind. I'm always like, oh, these stories are nice, and it's sometimes I just want to watch translations because their language is also nice. I mean, I even started learning Korean on Duolingo.
Oh my God.
Korean and French. Korean and French on Duolingo. But because I watch so much, I start to sort of like pick up words, language. I'm like, oh, okay, he's saying sorry to this one. Oh, this one wants food. This one wants, you pick up things. So, I like it.
The difference between...
Oh, and I read.
Yes,
also.
you read.
Yes.
A lot.
Because we have a book club, so I have to read.
You are well organized, eh?
Oh, guys. Hey. In this world...
You are very organized.
I don't know. Eh?
Mbali, you're very well. Let me tell
I don't
you.
know.
I'll tell you for free. You're very well organized.
You're-
The difference between, because people don't understand this, like the difference between like sort of doing stream work and then being on like mainstream analog.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
You know, I was very, because now you think super sports schools, hadn't understood the whole how it actually works and how it actually fits into the broader scale of things in the multi-choice business. So I expected already.
Yes.
Yabon. And then I get there and I'm just like, guys, the bare minimum. Like, where's this? Like, okay, guys, like, can we do the bare minimum? You know? And you forget with the people, they're also training.
They are training,
Training.
Yeah.
It's like your Soweto TV.
Yep.
It's like your campus radio.
Yep.
You know, the people they are training. So you have to learn to be gracious with people.
Get you.
You've got to learn to be kind.
Yes.
And I had to, that's why I like being authentic, must be honest, because now at some point I was even like, I was so frustrated, but then I realized, it's okay, girl, you've got the spirit of pride and arrogance now creeping up. Come back. Come back, because these people are where you used to be in 2017.
Absolutely.
So come back and be more kind. And once you have that perception, it helps you now relate to people
so much better.
And then you realize, actually these people have so much more to offer, and then they also come ask you things, and you guys can actually work so much better together. But if you already come with that mentality and you're not humble about it, it's like, you know what, ni wrong la. Let me just yes, guys, I cannot stress how when you just treat people well, how those relationships just work out for you so many years down the line. You don't even know. Can I tell you, because of that treatment, that's how I got to the World Cup 2022. Out of the blue. Somebody called me, Auntie, so I'm just saying.
I mean,
I was in Qatar, so like, because of those relationships.
Look, I think it leads me to my next question, because often the make and break in our industry is attitude and being able to be workable with other people. I think a lot of the times when people say, we haven't seen so and so, it's because it's a difficult production when this person is on it. How important is that? Because from like we both speak about like the production not just being you in front of the camera. There's a lot of other people that are in this production. There's camera crew, there's producers, there's directors, there's floor managers, all of them trying to achieve the same thing that we're here and booked for. How important is being able to work with a production crew to be able to be successful in your career? Guys, teamwork. We don't do it alone. We do not do it alone. We just rock up there and say hello and welcome. Say Moses Mabita Stadium, But the crew that made sure that you are able to days ago
Bafika long before us. Even in the bad weather, they're there putting up cables, all of those things. The audio guys, the camera guys. Even after we leave, they're still taking down de-rigging, all of that stuff. And you just rock up there, hello and welcome. And I'm not saying that's just our job, but I'm just saying, on the day, we've already done our preps, Tina. But on the day, you get there, do your makeup, and then you show up at showtime. But those guys, they've been just, whether it's hot, it's raining, so that's why you've got to be so gracious when you work with people, because that's where sometimes Melis's God, they with that spirit of complacency. And I'm not saying that we should drop the level at which we work at, but you must also understand where people are at. You must meet people at the levels that they're at that time. The Mbali who was at Soweto TV or Mbali in 2017 is not Mbali in 2025. So I can't treat Mbali in 2017 at the level of Mbali in 2025. She's not there. She's just scraping.
Just arrived
in the industry. So you can't So that's why it's even with like school sports. It's such a great platform. It's an incredible, big platform, right? It is so amazing, and a lot of people are sort of getting training and their experience with broadcasting, with commentating, with camera work, graphics, all of those things, because those guys also have ambitions.
Yes.
Which I want to work for the big leagues.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to be very gracious in how you treat people, because you do not know. This camera guy one day is gonna go and work at IAAF or doing the Olympics, and then he may know someone there, and then they're like, you know what? There's this girl I used to work with, and there's a space, and you just get a phone call
out of nowhere.
Dude, you know what? There's an opening here.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, because you don't know people's paths and how people connect. And I always feel like it's the one principle I think God has taught us more than anything, which is because everywhere you go, you plant seeds.
Yeah.
You plant seeds, and you plant seeds whether you know it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's either you plant good seeds or bad seeds.
Bad
but
ones.
whatever you do, you are always planting a seed. So you have to be very cognizant of the kind of seeds you plant. And remember that it's a team.
Yeah.
Right? When we're talking about this is a great production, it's not because the presenter was great. It's because everything worked together.
Yeah.
You know, the director was directing the great shots and picking the right shots.
Cameras
The cameras were
perfect.
cameraing.
Yeah.
The graphic was graphicking. Whatever.
Floor manager made sure people were there on time.
You know, the floor was flooring. Audio was audioing. Everything was working together. And when that boat sort of like moves in the same direction together, like rowing.
Yes.
You know,
In sync.
it is incredible TV. You know, and it captivates the audience. It's not a one-man job.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get them feel like you've arrived, you're the star of the show. Remember that you get there. You need an audio person who
Yes.
Angakusabotage ayicime leyo mic.
You there?
Yabo?
You talking and there's no sound coming out.
The camera guy angavela jikisa camera ayibhekisa analyst. Sikuzwe, but we're not looking at you asibone. You know, the director can decide they want to work with someone else. So the producer can decide, okay, but the producers also people are very important. So they can decide okay, the direction which the show is going, I feel like it just needs a different, fresh face.
Yep.
So if you're gonna feel that you're a one-man show, you are gonna be shocked when the rug is pulled from underneath your feet. It is a team sport. And I think the higher we go, that's where we need to be more cognizant of our pride.
Absolutely.
Of our pride and how we treat people who are now sort of starting out, because then we forget once upon a time we were also there.
Yes.
But because now for others it's like 20 years ago, it's like you can't even connect with your 1995 person anymore. And you forget, but you are that kid, that ambitious one, and just one person gave you an opportunity. So you've gotta pay it forward for someone else.
Yeah, and a simple thing is just greeting.
So I love calling people by names. Yo, that's the one thing I love. Even at the petrol station, I love doing, because we've got like a Cecil just up the road. So whoever comes, I'm just like, yo, Moses, kunjani? Yo, cela ungifakele 200. Like I don't know if it's a value at home, but for me, identity is such a big thing. And as you know, identity, even especially as a black person, you know, it's such an important thing. So being able to call someone by their name, their surname, who they are, it makes them feel so good and so seen.
The camera people, because I think the camera people probably don't get as much recognition as a lot of people in the industry. I mean, as simple as knowing who's on camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Yeah.
Their names.
Yeah. You know, because we sit with the earpiece,
you
hear that director saying, camera 4, I love your work.
Yeah.
Because, hey, camera 4 is like giving the angles. The angles that you know the people at home are going to take that clip.
Yes.
That's the one they're going to use on X for like, and they don't know to camera 4. That gave them that, you know. So you sit there, you're just like, yo, even the security guys, just bulisa, like just greet, like, you know, sanbonani, even at the end, thank you so much, have a great evening, thank you so much, you know, and then, because, you know, sometimes that is the only sense of greeting that person got. That is the only time that person has ever been seen. We don't know where people come from. We don't know we don't know what struggles they come into that job with. We don't know the burdens they carry. We don't know the burdens
how
they carry.
They got to this job.
We don't even know that them being there is probably the only thing keeping them from taking their lives, because that's how bad it is. So for you to walk in there and walk past them and ignore them and make them feel like how they've always felt in their lives, how dare you?
You're plunging them, deeper into that.
Deeper. I mean, for me, I sit there, I'm just like, if I'm talking about this God and this Jesus who has done so much for me. Sure. And there's someone who doesn't know. You become the only Jesus someone has ever known.
Yeah.
The only sense of connection they have.
Yeah.
They see that person through you.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be a very different person, because now you're in your World of Champions, or you're on Sky, or you're on this, but uyaz ukuthi mina githi ekhaya kuseSoweto, Protea North. Yeah. The people know me ngisaphuma mafinyela laphayana ngikhuzuka, now all of a sudden
walking barefoot.
Now I'm better than everybody. But you know, those are the people who probably I'll connect more with, because they know me before being on TV and everything. So, you know, we've got to be kind, because you find that person, we don't know the decision they decide with. I'm just going to drive over that bridge and just throw myself up, because you're like, how are you? You're good. You look so nice today. Yes. That one thing, one act lifts their spirit, because then it reminds them that they still matter, but there's still some good in the world.
Yeah. I've got 2 last questions, because we can sit here. We can sit here and talk the whole time. Like, honestly, like
I know
we have to try and wrap it up. I mean, throughout this conversation, the huge element of spirituality has come through.
Yeah.
Families also come through a lot for you. How important are those as a key component of your career and your work?
It's centered me so much. My family has really centered me, guys. Sure. I won't lie. It centered me. It's kept me accountable.
Yes.
But the fact that I always want to protect them as well. Yeah. It's a space, and it's a space that I respect. I respect my kids, guys. Just because they are children, you know, it doesn't mean that you don't protect them. You must protect them, because the first role model that they know, it must be you. I don't want my kids to be like, oh, Oprah. No, but what about me in the house? Because I need to model strength. I need to model strength, you know. And you know, one thing that I wanted to speak to you about also, that I feel like we don't talk enough of in this industry as women. Guys, we go through so much insecurities as us women.
That was going to be my final question, but we can go into it now. Yeah.
Insecurities, guys. I feel like people see us cis postil, and we just look so great, but we go through so much insecurities because not as we grow, we go through health issues. Sure. You know, I've been so open about my recent health issues with Polycystic Ovary Syndrome that I'd been struggling with for the past year and a half. That has sort of been the reason I gained weight so much, because of my issues with my insulin, and the reason why I had gotten acne, you know, and struggling with that live on TV. Sure. It's so hard that I don't think people understand the amount of work you have to do behind the scenes to pull yourself in front of the scenes. You know, you have to affirm. I have an affirmation app. I have to affirm myself, because I don't wear makeup at home. So I know how my base skin looks like, you know. And although I'm on treatment, I'm currently, you know, with a doctor and everything, it's a journey of feeling like you're so unattractive. Constantly. You don't want to speak to coaches because you woke up and there was this big pimple, and you have to go interview a coach. You have to go to Kosafa for 2 weeks and your skin is just acting up, and you're hoping that people are listening to you and not staring at you, right? But it's that thing of you feeling confident in your own skin, right? We have children while we're on screen, so our weight changes. Astafan, you know. On camera, we out there with corsets, bruh. We don't even know who to be. We can't even breathe. We can't even breathe, and we're doing that link. I'm just like, yeah, coach, you know. And you're laughing with your analysts like this. Like him that, that type is this opinion. Yo. It's like, he's bad.
I can't breathe in this thing, man.
So but you know, so you know, I remember when I started getting sick, my hair was falling out, and I have like natural hair. My hair started falling out. So you know, you go through so much, and you still need to focus on delivery, but your confidence is low, non-existent. I was, guys, you know, Mangiti, I respect my husband so much. You know, Mangiti, that man pulled me from the pit. I was crying almost every day. Because my face is painful. My clothes are not fitting. I don't want to, I love working, but I don't want to work. You know, I'm just like, please don't book me. But I want to work, but don't book me. But I want to work, but don't book me. You know, and you struggle with all of that stuff. And you forget that, you know what? At the end of the day, you can't make a long-term decision on a temporary problem. Because can you change weight? No. You can. What do you mean no?
Yeah, you can.
You can. You go to gym, you eat healthy, you go to a doctor.
Controllables.
Can you change? Can you fix your skin? Yeah, I'm doing all of that. I'm at gym, I'm eating healthy, I'm in a doctor. I've taken the power back. So I am affirming myself first. You know, there's people who don't bounce back when they ask the wrong question, and then coach and then Twitter has them for breakfast and lunch and supper, and then the insecurity of bouncing back and doing the job the next day, because now that person is struggling with, am I good enough? Am I that bad? Because people are not kind. Do I deserve to be here? So for others, it's not weight. It's not, because now you're sitting like, okay, Mtsilisi just had a baby, but you can see that she's working on herself, right? It's easy for someone to go on attack, but it's like, but guys, she's a woman.
Understand.
You don't understand. You know, Tato Muyeng, she was already in the industry and she had a baby. I was pregnant on camera. You know, so we all have to, then we have to come back and, you know, while we are working, delivering, trying to be confident, give you the world-class, World of Champions broadcast, we are working on ourselves. We are dealing with our own internal demons, our health issues, our, you know, sometimes we are so, our self-esteem is so low. It's so low, guys. And, you know, when they told me that I'm doing the MTN8 game, I'm like, I'm so excited. But now you have to have conversations with the makeup artist. What kind of makeup do you use? Please give me coverage. You know, and you just hope that your crew has your back. You know, like, don't zoom in on my face, guys, but like, make me look nice. But you know what? Because now it gives you that confidence to deliver. You know, that's where the teamwork comes in. That's where Patabantu Gahle comes in. That's where treating people
to that.
Because once you're okay, which you will be, you know, and then you just you know, but when someone else is dealing with that, you have the sensitivity to know how to now cover that person, because everyone has different struggles, guys. Everyone has so many different insecurities and things that really kill their self-esteem. So I feel like we've got to be very open about our stories. I'm very open about it on social media. And as a result, I didn't realize that posting about my PCOS, I would get so many DMs of people saying, I'm actually struggling with this. And these are women also in the industry. One of them plays basketball. You know, the doctor told her you'll never have a child, because when you've got this hormonal thing as a woman, a lot of women can't have children. So it affects you on every level. So you have this community of women. You know Lala, remember? She's also struggling with this. She's open about it. And someone said to me, go through Lala's page. She also is going through that. And then now you see how she overcame it, the journey. And just like, I'm not alone, guys. I'm not an island.
When those things happen, you feel like, damn, I'm the only person in the world that is going through this thing.
Guys, you have to work through so much, and that's what makes you so strong as a person. You've got to be so anchored and so rooted and so invested in yourself. You've got to love yourself so much that whatever people say, it sort of like becomes like oil. It just sort of like slips off. You know, you've got to pump yourself up so much that when you rock up, you show up. Because remember, when you're on TV, no one cares about your problems. We want what we want, what we paid for.
We've paid for.
We've paid for it. We want you to deliver. If you are the one booked, deliver. Oh, to pimple is all
so tough.
Oh, to when you gained, you ate a cookie and you gained 10 kilograms. It's not us. Like, or when I don't know, you know. It's got nothing to do with other people. They don't care. The world doesn't care. So you've got to show up for yourself first. But I learned that you've got to be kind to people. Be kind and be sensitive to people. And don't assume because people are on camera that we've got our lives figured out, guys. I told you from the onset, we've got to be authentic because for me, I found that's how we connect with people. When you come down to people's level and people remember that you are just as human. You're not immune to problems. We are human, you know, and we find that we resonate more with others. I mean, if I did not speak about it, I wouldn't have found a doctor. Because when was like, I use this person, go to this person, go to this person, go to this person. And that's what's helped me find my life back. So I drink celery juice every morning and I'm happy.
I think that's a fitting end. It's a fitting end.
Drink celery juice every day.
Mbali, thank you so much. Like, I mean, in the how long have we going? Just over an hour.
Just give us an extra hour. So much to unpack.
We'd love to. Like, we'd love to really sit here for the next hour, but unfortunately, we can't. And I think, firstly, I want to say thank you for not only availing yourself, but also being here and being so open to speak about your life. Like I think at the beginning of the show we spoke about, I think there's a bit of a reluctance from especially women being able to speak about their lives. And I think that for us is a massive thing. We look at our numbers and sometimes we are so numbers driven, but I think purely from a human interest point of view, we really want to have a lot more women on the show. And I think today's been an incredible sort of morning. Just listening to the passion that you have about not only your life, your career, but, you know, your family, what drives you, what still keeps you grounded is so important for us and so treasured, because we can take this forward and say, look, people are here doing great things and not just in front of camera but off it as well. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.